My beloved sisters and brothers, let me tell you something this day. Strength is not always in the muscles of the body, not always in the arm that can lift, not in the leg that can run, not in the chest that can endure the storm. Strength, true strength, lives in the mind, in the heart, in the soul that chooses not to break even when life comes with hammer and fire, even when disappointment comes as a thief in the night, even when betrayal sits at your table and drinks from your cup. The secret of becoming mentally strong is not hidden in books alone, not sewn into the robes of scholars, not locked behind golden doors where only the wealthy may enter. No, my friends, it is born within each of us like a seed buried in the deep soil of our spirit. That seed waits, sometimes for years, sometimes for decades, to feel the sun of courage, the rain of perseverance, the wind of hardship, and still it pushes, still it rises, still it grows toward the light. Some people think that strength means never crying. They think that strength means never falling down. They think that strength is a face that never trembles, a voice that never shakes. But let me stand here and testify, strength is not the absence of tears, but the courage to shed them and still rise. Strength is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to walk forward though your knees knock and your palms sweat. Strength is not the absence of pain, but the power to say, pain, you may visit me, but you will not master me. There will be days when your mind feels like a battlefield. The voices of doubt will march in, the whispers of failure will creep at the corners, and fear will shout as though it has bought a permanent place in your head. In those moments, mental strength is the choice to remember who you are, to remember that you have survived nights darker than this one, storms heavier than this one, and heartbreaks that threaten to undo you. Yet here you stand, still breathing, still walking, still trying, still singing your song, though the world tried to silence you. Mental strength is not given, it is forged, it is carved, it is earned in the fire of life's trials. Each disappointment, each betrayal, each no that you thought would break you, that was the weight pressing down. And each time you rose, you grew stronger. Each time you refused to quit, your backbone became steel. Each time you faced the ridicule, the loneliness, the misunderstanding, your spirit stretched wider, deeper, tougher than before. But let me share this truth with you. Strength does not mean hardening yourself until you become stone. No. Strength is not shutting your heart until no one can touch it. Strength is not sealing your soul until love cannot enter. The strongest minds are not the coldest minds. The strongest souls are not the ones who refuse to feel. The strongest are the ones who have been broken, who have been wounded, and yet keep their capacity for love alive. Strength is when your heart could grow bitter, but you choose instead to grow better. There is a secret, and it is simple, but it is not easy. The secret is this: if you want to become mentally strong, you must first accept life as it is, not as you wish it to be. Life will not always play fair. Life will not always hand you the prize you worked for. Life will not always let the righteous win. But if you can accept that and still believe in your own worth, if you can accept that and still walk forward with dignity, if you can accept that and still wake up tomorrow with hope, then life cannot conquer you. Strength requires discipline. Discipline in the mind, discipline in the tongue, discipline in the thoughts that we allow to plant themselves in our heads. Some thoughts are weeds. They strangle our joy. They poison our peace. They drain our courage. But a strong mind knows how to say, no, you will not live here rent-free. No, you will not dictate my day. No, you will not tell me who I am. A strong mind knows how to replace those weeds with words of power, words of life, words of possibility. And oh, how powerful words are. The world may call you failure, but you must call yourself faithful. The world may call you weak, but you must call yourself willing. The world may call you nothing, but you must call yourself necessary. Mental strength is choosing your name, choosing your story, choosing your destiny, even when others try to write it for you. Some of you have been told that you are too broken, too late, too small, too ordinary. But let me assure you, there is no such thing. There is no soul too broken that cannot be healed. There is no journey too late to begin. There is no voice too small that cannot rise to a shout. There is no life too ordinary that cannot blaze into brilliance. You are not defined by the scars you carry. You are defined by the fire that still burns beneath them. Now I must tell you another part of the secret to be strong. You must also be gentle with yourself. Too many of us whip our own backs with words harsher than any enemy could say. We punish ourselves for mistakes that are already gone. We rehearse failures like a bad song stuck on repeat. But mental strength is mercy toward oneself. Mental strength is saying, I am not perfect, but I am worthy. I have failed, but I am not a failure. I am learning, I am growing, I am still becoming. Do not think that strength means walking alone. Even the strongest tree needs roots. Even the brightest flame needs air. Strength does not mean isolation. It means connection. It means finding people who remind you of your own greatness when you forget. It means walking with those who can lift you when your knees buckle, who can sing for you when your voice cracks. We become stronger when we are held, when we are loved, when we are reminded that we are not alone. So let me tell you, the secret of becoming mentally strong is not a single lesson. It is a lifetime's work. It is waking up each day and choosing courage over comfort, faith over fear, love over bitterness, hope over despair. It is choosing to believe that you matter, that your story matters, that your tomorrow still holds possibility. It is choosing to rise and rise and rise again, and when you rise, the world rises with you. When you stand, you give others permission to stand. When you speak, you remind others they, too, have a voice. When you shine, you cast light into someone else's darkness. And that, my beloved, is the greatest strength of all. And let me whisper to you what many do not want you to hear: storms will come, but storms are not eternal. They rage, they shake the roof, they flood the streets, they strike with thunder that makes you tremble. Yet even the fiercest storm must bow to the dawn. Mental strength is remembering in the middle of the thunder that the morning is already on its way. Some of you carry the weight of memories that try to chain you down. Memories of words spoken over you in anger, memories of failures that replay themselves in your midnight thoughts, memories of doors slammed in your face. Those memories speak, and they try to tell you you are not enough. But strength, true strength, is answering back. It is saying, yes, I remember. Yes, I was hurt. Yes, I was broken. But I am more than my pain. I am more than my wounds. I am more than my yesterdays. And sometimes, my friends, mental strength is not loud. It is not fireworks. It is not always standing tall with a booming voice. Sometimes it is quiet. It is the whisper that says, try again. It is the steady breath you take before stepping into a room that scares you. It is the small, trembling yes to life after you've been told no again and again. Mental strength is often unseen, but it is there, like roots beneath the soil, holding you steady though no one else can see their work. The world will tell you to be strong for others, but I tell you, be strong for yourself first. Because you cannot pour from an empty cup, cannot carry others if your own knees are crumbling, cannot light the way if your flame has gone out. You must protect your mind, your peace, your joy as fiercely as a lion protects its cubs. Guard it, feed it, rest it, train it. And when the world asks for more than you can give, have the strength to say, no, not today. My healing is holied. My mind is sacred. My rest is necessary. And oh, how rest is overlooked. They tell us to hustle, hustle, hustle until our bodies break. But rest, my beloved, is not weakness. Rest is resistance. Rest is recovery. Rest is saying, I will not let the world run me ragged until I am empty. Rest is strength disguised as softness. A rested mind is a strong mind. A rested spirit cannot be easily broken. Now here, this strength is not found in comparison. You will never find your power by measuring it against someone else's. Do not let envy rob you of your joy. Do not let jealousy steal your peace. The path of another is not your path. The blessing of another does not lessen your own. The pace of another does not dictate your timing. Your story is your story, and a strong mind knows how to clap for others without silencing its own song. Some of you have been waiting for permission to be strong, waiting for someone to call your name, waiting for someone to recognize your worth, waiting for someone to hand you the key. But hear me when I say, you do not need permission. You do not need approval. You do not need validation to step into your strength. The door has always been open. The key has always been in your hand. Walk through. Claim it. Strength will also demand patience. Patience with yourself. Patience with the journey. Patience with the timing of things you cannot yet see. The oak tree does not grow in a night. The diamond is not formed in a moment. The river does not carve the canyon in a day. Mental strength is trusting the process even when you cannot yet see the progress. It is saying, I do not have to bloom today to know that I will bloom tomorrow. And I must remind you, strength comes from gratitude. Gratitude is the soil where resilience grows. When you can look at your life, even in broken places, and still say, thank you, you have tapped into a power the world cannot steal. Thank you for the breath in my lungs. Thank you for the lesson in my trial. Thank you for the wisdom in my wounds. Gratitude is not denial of pain, it is recognition that even pain cannot stop purpose. Gratitude feeds the mind like bread feeds the body, and there will be times when laughter is your strength. Do not let the heaviness of the world steal your laughter, for laughter is medicine, laughter is rebellion, laughter is survival. To laugh when life tries to break you is to declare, you cannot have me, you cannot own me, you cannot destroy me. Laughter shakes chains loose, laughter loosens burdens. A strong mind knows how to find joy even in the cracks of sorrow. And listen, my dear ones, strength is contagious. When you choose to be strong, you are not only healing yourself, you are healing the generations that will follow you. You are breaking cycles, you are rewriting stories, you are showing the child watching you that fear is not final, that pain is not permanent, that despair does not win. Your strength is a torch passed down, and long after your footsteps have faded, the fire you carried will keep burning. Do not be fooled into thinking that mental strength is always born in the grand moments. No, sometimes it is in the smallest choices that the greatest power is found. It is in the decision to rise when the alarm rings though your body begs you to stay. It is in the choice to speak truth when silence would be easier. It is in the moment you forgive when revenge would taste sweeter. These small, quiet choices are the bricks that build the fortress of the mind. And day by day, moment by moment, brick by brick, you are building a strength that no storm can tear down. Now let us talk about courage, because courage and strength are sisters. They walk hand in hand, arm in arm. Courage is the voice that says, go on. Courage is the light that shines in the darkness and tells you there is still a way. Courage is the hand that pulls you up from the ground when failure has knocked you flat. And mental strength is nothing without courage. For it takes courage to hope, it takes courage to love, it takes courage to dream again when the last dream crumbled. And oh, how dreams test us. The dream will stretch you. It will demand your patience. It will call on your discipline. It will ask you to walk roads you never thought you could endure. But if you stay, if you endure, if you keep the vision alive even when your eyes are filled with tears, then you will learn what strength really means. Because strength is not reaching the dream, it is refusing to abandon it. Some of you carry fear like a shadow. Fear follows you into every room. Fear whispers in every conversation. Fear tells you what you cannot do, what you must not try, who you must not become. But let me tell you, fear is a liar. Fear magnifies mountains that are only molehills. Fear builds prisons that are only made of paper. Fear invents enemies that are only in your imagination. And mental strength is looking fear in the eye and saying, I see you, but I will not bow to you. I feel you, but I will not follow you. I hear you, but I will not obey you. And when fear loses its grip, freedom enters. Freedom to walk in your own skin. Freedom to think your own thoughts. Freedom to live your own truth. Freedom to rise without asking for applause. Freedom to stand without shrinking. Freedom to love without fear of loss. Mental strength makes you free, and free people cannot be conquered. Now I must speak on forgiveness, because it is one of the heaviest tests of strength. To hold on to anger is easy. To cling to bitterness is easy. To rehearse the wrongs done to you until they define you, that is easy. But forgiveness is strength. Forgiveness is looking at the wound and saying, you cut me, but you will not keep me. You wronged me, but you will not rule me. You hurt me, but you will not hold me hostage. Forgiveness is not weakness. Forgiveness is release. and those who learn to forgive discover a strength that cannot be measured. But let me tell you, forgiveness does not always mean reconciliation. Forgiveness does not always mean walking hand in hand with the one who harmed you. Forgiveness is the key that unlocks your prison door. It is freedom for your mind. It is peace for your spirit. It is the medicine that keeps your soul from poisoning itself. That is strength, to choose peace when chaos is easier, to choose healing when revenge is closer. And I must tell you about love, because love is the very heartbeat of strength. Love for yourself, love for the journey, love for life itself, even when it bruises you. Many have confused strength with hardness, but strength without love becomes cruelty. Strength without compassion becomes arrogance. Strength without tenderness becomes tyranny. But strength with love, that is unstoppable, that is the kind of strength that moves nations, heals families, changes generations. Some of you must learn to look in the mirror and love what you see, to love the lines on your face, for they are the map of your survival, to love the scars on your body, for they are proof that you healed, to love the sound of your own voice, for it has carried you through valleys where silence would have swallowed you whole. To love yourself is not vanity. To love yourself is sanity. And a strong mind begins with a heart that does not despise itself. And so, as you walk through this world, remember this: the secret of becoming mentally strong is not hidden far away. It is not kept from you. It is not denied to you. It is already within you, waiting for your yes, waiting for your belief, waiting for your decision to rise, to keep rising, to keep rising. There will be seasons where silence will test your strength. When no applause comes, when no hand reaches for yours, when no voice rises to cheer you on. In those seasons, mental strength is learning to clap for yourself, to rise from your bed and say, "Well done, I made it to another day." To look in the mirror and whisper, "I am proud of you, for even in your trembling, you did not give up." Strength is building an inner choir that sings even when the outside world goes quiet. And some of you will have to face loneliness. Loneliness that sits heavy on your chest at night, loneliness that follows you even in crowded rooms. But even loneliness has a lesson. It teaches you to befriend yourself. It teaches you to sit in your own company and not feel abandoned. It teaches you to hear your own heartbeat and know that it is enough music to carry you through. Loneliness can become the furnace that burns away the need for constant approval, the need for constant distraction, the need for constant noise. From that furnace, strength emerges. And let me tell you, this strength is also in humility. The strong mind does not always have to be right. The strong heart does not always need the last word. The strong soul does not bow to pride, for pride is fragile. Pride cracks when challenged. Pride collapses when it is not praised. But true strength can bend without breaking. True strength can listen, can learn, can say, "I was wrong," and still stand tall. Humility is not weakness. Humility is the quiet thunder of a mind that knows who it is and does not need to prove it. There will be times when you must start again. Times when the road you were walking crumbles beneath your feet. Times when the plan you held so tightly slips from your hands. In those moments, mental strength is the courage to turn the page, to plant again after the harvest failed, to write again after the poem was torn, to love again after the heart was broken. Starting again does not mean you are weak. It means you are unbreakable. And let us not forget discipline, for discipline is the backbone of strength. Discipline to rise when you do not feel like it. Discipline to speak kindness when bitterness is closer to your tongue. Discipline to guard your mind when doubt comes knocking. Discipline is not glamorous. Discipline is not always seen, but discipline builds the muscles of the soul. Discipline is what allows strength to last beyond the moment, to endure beyond the hour, to sustain through the years. And oh, how often we forget the power of hope. Hope is the seed of strength. Hope is the anchor that keeps you from drifting away in despair. Hope is the light that refuses to go out even in the darkest night. Mental strength is choosing hope again and again, even when the evidence around you says, "Give up." Hope is stubborn. Hope is rebellious. Hope is that little flame that dares to say, "Not yet, not finished, not over." Some of you may think you are too tired to be strong. You may think the battles have taken all there is to give, but strength is not about never feeling weary. Strength is about resting, refueling, and then standing again. Even the eagle must fold its wings and rest on the branch. Even the river must pause behind the dam before rushing forward again. Strength is not in pretending you never grow tired. Strength is in renewing yourself so you can rise once more. And let me remind you, strength is not only for the storms. Strength is also for the sunshine, for sometimes prosperity can weaken the mind just as much as pain. When life grows easy, when success comes, when applause surrounds you, strength is remembering your humility. Strength is remembering your roots. Strength is remembering who you are when the lights are bright and the stage is full. A strong mind is not swayed by flattery, is not drunk on praise, is not lost in the sweetness of success. And strength will require truth. The truth you tell yourself when no one is watching. The truth you live even when it costs you. The truth you refuse to bury even when lies are more convenient. Truth is not always comfortable, but truth is freedom. And the mind that chooses truth over deception builds a foundation that cannot crumble. Lies may glitter, but they break. Truth may sting, but it stands. Strength is standing with truth even when it shakes your knees. Strength will also ask you to unlearn the lies planted in you when you were young, to unlearn the voices that told you you were less, to unlearn the habits that drained your spirit, to unlearn the patterns of fear that kept you bound. For sometimes, becoming strong is not about adding more, but about stripping away what does not belong to you. The peeling away is painful, yes, but beneath it, your true power waits to be revealed. And some of you must know mental strength is not perfection. Do not confuse them. Perfection is a mask, a trap, an illusion that demands you to never falter, never stumble, never bleed. But strength welcomes imperfection. Strength says, I can fall and still rise. I can fail and still try. I can hurt and still heal. Strength embraces the cracks because it knows that light can only enter through the broken places. Strength lives in resilience, and resilience is not bouncing back to what you were before. No, resilience is becoming something new after what tried to break you. Resilience is carrying scars not as shame, but as evidence. Evidence that you are still here. Evidence that you endured. Evidence that what was meant to bury you only planted you deeper, so you could grow stronger roots. There will be voices that call you too sensitive, too tender, too soft, but never mistake tenderness for weakness. Tenderness is power refined. Tenderness is a strength that does not have to roar to be real. Tenderness is the ability to touch without destroying, to see without judging, to listen without rushing. A mind that can remain tender in a world that hardens people. That is a fortress no weapon can shatter. And oh, how the world will try to hurry you. Hurry your healing, hurry your growth, hurry your journey. But mental strength is learning to honor your own pace. It is saying, I will not be rushed. I will not be pressed into someone else's timeline. I will move at the rhythm my soul requires. The river does not hurry, and yet it carves the stone. The tree does not rush, and yet it reaches the sky. Strength is patience dressed in dignity. Some of you must learn to carry silence as strength, for there are times when silence is louder than shouting. Silence can guard your peace. Silence can protect your energy. Silence can keep you from battles that do not deserve your sword. The strong do not waste their words in every quarrel. The strong choose carefully when to speak and when to keep still. Strength is knowing that silence, too, has a voice. And let me remind you, strength will sometimes look like standing alone, when the crowd moves left and you know you must walk right, when the voices around you call for compromise and you know truth demands sacrifice, when you stand for what is right, even when it costs you comfort, friends, opportunities. That loneliness is not emptiness, it is integrity, it is courage, it is strength forged in fire. Strength will not always be applauded. Sometimes it will be misunderstood. Sometimes it will make others uncomfortable. Sometimes it will cause whispers, distance, even rejection. But remember, you were not born to please everyone. You were born to live fully. You were born to stand tall. You were born to shine in the truth of who you are. And that truth, that light will not always be welcomed. But it will always be necessary. And strength will teach you joy, joy not built on circumstances, joy not depending on who loves you, who praises you, who stands with you, joy that rises from within, joy that dances even in the valley, joy that laughs even at the edge of tears. That joy is defiance. That joy is resilience. That joy is the sound of freedom echoing through the chambers of your soul. And so, my beloved ones, when the winds rise against you, when the doubts creep in, when the weight of living feels too much to bear, remember this: you have already carried storms heavier than this one. You have already risen from nights darker than this one. You have already proven, by your very breath, that you are stronger than you believe. The secret of becoming mentally strong is not found out there. It is found right here, within you. It is in the quiet decisions, in the whispered prayers, in the trembling steps that you still take. It is in the forgiveness you grant, in the love you refuse to withhold, in the laughter you dare to let loose even when sorrow surrounds you. You are not weak for crying. You are not fragile for feeling. You are not broken for stumbling. You are strong because you rise, strong because you endure, strong because you believe, strong because you love. And as long as you keep rising, as long as you keep believing, as long as you keep daring to live with courage, the world cannot conquer you. Stand tall, my dear ones. Stand tall in your truth. Stand tall in your hope. Stand tall in your love. For the secret has never been hidden from you. It has always been yours. Rise and rise and rise again, until your very life becomes a testimony of strength the world cannot deny.